What's up, North County? We got your Backstage Pass with all things music in the North County and beyond. I'm Sean Logan, and my co-host is Randy Doty.
What's up, North County?
Today on the show, we've got Michael Keeney. But before we get to him, let's talk about the show a little bit, Randy.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm super pumped about this guy. So I've been listening to him for probably at least 4 years. I kind of stumbled onto him during COVID because everybody, we worked out at home, right? We worked out at home and found some music, and I stumbled onto it, and I'm stoked that he's here, and I can't wait to listen to him play.
Yeah, so the format we got going on that we're trying to move forward with is to try and have some live music in addition to the interviews. So last week we had David McNamara on with his trumpet, and he played a little bit. And moving forward, we got Michael Keeney on tonight, and he's going to be playing some songs with us. And I'm on the same boat as you. I think I saw him at the Barrel House probably like 5 or 6 years ago, actually, and just thought, his music was really original and down home, and I really dug him.
Well, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head right there. Is like original, right? Original music, and I know, you with Rusted Stone, you like the original stuff. You like to play original music, okay? Now, on the backside of that, original music isn't necessarily familiar per se,
right,
but it's a passion, that you and Michael has, to play their own script, their own journey. And I really like the edginess. It's kind of country, a little bit of rock, just a kind of like that outlaw country, which, is becoming more and more popular nowadays.
Yeah, for sure. He's got his own style, but yeah, it does kind of lend to the outlaw from the past,
It's kind of, like I said, it's kind of like that rocker country kind of just merged together, and like I said, I'm stoked, man. Yeah, I mean, we're having a great time doing this. We're bringing on some great acts. Last week's show I wasn't here for, but I listened to it. All the way from Bakersfield over to the coast.
How did it sound listening?
It sounded really good. Of course, your guest talked. He did a great job. If I was like on any level of musical talent, I would have been even more in tuned, and I was in tuned. I was intrigued, and it was very, very informative.
Yeah, Dave has a great story. I've known him for years. Like, I don't know if you caught it, but in the interview I mentioned I bought my very first guitar and amp from him from his store. So yeah, he's been around for years. Great person as well.
And also, like when he played the trumpet too, it came through the speakers loud and clear, and it sounded really good. I was asking Eric, I said, was he like blowing the horn in here? He's like, no. He goes, it really wasn't loud at all. It was just, but it sounded really clear. So it sounded good. I thought you guys did a great job, man. So I'm really stoked, and I know people are giving me feedback, for the show, and they're digging it, and the public in the North County is starting to catch on. We had, Monty from the Siren last week. He jumped on, was listening, and Leslie from the Poorhouse, and so this is what it's all about, exposing the North County musicians.
Well, taking a lead right from what you're talking about there, we're also starting to implement in the show where we talk about the music that's coming up for the upcoming week in all the local venues. So speaking of Leslie and the Poorhouse, on Friday we've got the Vibe Setters. They'll play everything from rock, soul, pop, reggae, funk, and more. They've been around quite a while now. On Saturday, there's the Kerosene Kings. These guys are a seasoned cast of performers playing guitar-driven pop rock that give you the show that you've been waiting for. I know you've been waiting for that.
I've been waiting for it, man.
And then lastly, on Sunday, I know I'm going to actually screw up this name, but Pato Baton, he's a Grammy-nominated reggae legend that has recorded and toured with the world with the English Beat, Still Pulse, UB40, and Sting, just to name a few.
So that guy is very, very popular. So he's extremely popular. He
probably is not going to like that I messed up his name like that.
I'm sure you're not the only one. But he has a huge following, and for him to be stopping at the Poorhouse and playing there, that's huge. He kicked it off last year. I think it was last year at the Tascadero Fall Fest, and it was just a crowd, as deep as you could see. Yeah. So it was awesome. So that's gonna be stoked. So what I got here, we got the Club Car Bar. So our
Okay.
very own Templeton venue here, which they're kicking ass down here in Templeton. So Taylor and the crew has on Friday night got Deja Vu coming, which is Livia Rodrigo party and the DJ Blade trip. So that's on Friday, and then Saturday we got Medalists Funk. I'm assuming funk music.
Yeah.
Kind of like some funky funk,
Yep.
right? And then, of course, Cal Coast Beer, in Paso. They have a huge concert venue down below the bar area, and they put on some really good concerts and really good action there. And they've got John Millsap on Saturday night. He's a member of the Vibe Setters band, which is another local club, right?
Yeah, they're the Vibe Setters are playing Poorhouse on Friday night. I just mentioned that.
Perfect.
So he's part of that band.
So it's crazy how all these artists and musicians play in multiple bands, not just one. So
Right.
pretty cool.
So moving over to the coast, we have the Siren. And Monty's got a few awesome bands lined up. On Friday, they actually have Agent Orange with the Drowns. Now, most people know Agent Orange. They're an iconic American punk rock band that formed in California in 1979. If you're into punk, you know these guys for sure, and you might want to get yourself over there on Friday night. On Saturday, they've got Candy O. It's the ultimate tribute to the Cars. So these guys are pretty popular. They tour around. From what I hear, they're pretty accurate and authentic. So if you're into the Cars, go check these guys out.
And they're playing where?
This is the Siren.
This is
All
the
these
Siren.
are Siren
Awesome.
here. Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday at the Siren is Mark Sultan of the King, Khan, and Barbecue Show with Playwood Love. So I'm not familiar with these guys, but it does sound like it's going to be a fun time there.
Well, the Siren has some really great shows too, and they're bringing in some big names.
Yeah, Monty's really good about that. So always looking forward to seeing what he brings in.
How many people do you think that place holds? A couple 500 maybe?
I think the capacity is like 400, something like that.
And they pack it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. So we got so next kicking up, we got Vina Robles. So
Okay.
Vina Robles is kicking up their music season, and we got ZZ Top coming April 27th.
I can't wait for that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're a ZZ. You could kind of be a ZZ Top guy.
I might.
You just need to grow the beard
Yeah,
longer.
I need to definitely grow that beard a little bit longer. I have to get my guitar to spin around. It doesn't do that yet, but
Do you think they lip sync like Milli Vanilli?
No.
Okay,
way.
good, because I was about ready to just throw this paper away.
No, my God, no way. They're originals, man. They're Tres Ombros, man.
Famous
They're-
legs, huh?
Yeah.
I think every kid of the 80s has seen that video. MTV, back when MTV played videos.
Right.
So August 24th, you got Robert Plant and Allison Cross.
Okay.
Right? She's
Yeah.
coming in. Robert Plant is a legend, been around forever. August 29th, you got the one and only, you got the Southern California Beach Boys, right?
Classic.
Who does
classic.
not like the Beach Boys?
I know.
Right? I think this would be a cool concert to go check out. And then September 18th, you got Bonnie Raitt, which is another legend.
Yeah.
And Vina Robles is again slaying it with all their acts coming to the town. So, and then we've got the California Mid-State Fair this summer.
Okay.
Right? So we've already announced we got the Zach Brown Band coming on July 21st. And then recently announced we have a country star, not an up and coming because he's there now. We got Jelly Roll, and tickets are going on sale this Friday at 9 a.m. for locals. Now remember,
Actually, they went on sale last Friday.
oh
Yeah.
dude, what are you're setting me up for failure here.
No, that's good information for last week. Okay.
Okay, well, Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll tickets are on sale right now.
So hold on.
Go get them.
So I did hear word through, and I'm going to have to clarify this, and you guys might want to check it out online. But I heard Jelly Roll was already sold out.
Oh, really?
That's what I heard.
Okay.
Robbie was in Montana and got tickets, and I heard that the economy tickets, I think they're like $65.
Right.
Those things were gone in the first hour.
Wow.
So I want to say that Jelly Roll will most likely sell
It
out
wouldn't
if he hasn't
surprise me.
already.
He's really popular now.
Well, again, he's that edgy. He's that. I mean, you look at him. I'll be honest. When I saw him, I didn't, see a country singer. But like I said, he's popular. He has great music, and it's going to put on a good show in Paso Robles.
Yeah. Look forward to seeing what else the fair brings up.
100%.
Okay. Well, why don't we take a commercial break? But before we get to a commercial break, why don't we have Michael Keeney play us the song?
Hi there. My name is Michael D. Keeney, and this is one of my new singles. It's called Alcohol and Women. And what's up, North County? It is a pleasure to be on Backstage Pass with Randy and Sean here. Very much appreciated. Sorry about that. She's like a fine wine, sophisticated but still blows my mind. Yeah, and she gets me, but I lose control when her love hits me. Some things are just worth dying for. Those things that leave you wanting more. The alcohol and women, they make life worth living. And they always make you feel so free. Oh, and somehow I know they're gonna be the death of me. Alcohol and women, yeah. Woo! And that moonshine, sometimes I swear it's got a heart like mine. Yeah, 'cause it gets me, but I lose control when that stuff hits me. But some things are just worth dying for. Those things that leave you wanting more. The alcohol and women, they make life worth living. And they always make you feel so free. Oh, and somehow I know be the death of me. Gonna be the death of me now. And I'm addicted, but my pain is self-inflicted. Some things are just worth dying for, like alcohol and women. They make life worth living, and they always make you feel so free. Oh, and somehow I know gonna be the death of me. Alcohol and women, yeah. Alcohol and women.
What's up, North County? This is Teresa Branch with Airflow Filter Service. We are a family-owned business right here in the North County. We have air filters, oils and lubricants, and hydraulic hoses. We provide services that include air filter cleaning, DPF cleaning, and waste oil collection. Come check us out at 1140 Ramada Drive, and we can help you with all your automotive and industrial vehicle needs.
Thanks for coming in today, man. Really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure to be here. It's a very much a pleasure to be here. And for anybody that heard the beginning of that song, I'm very sorry about that. Just having a little bit of technical difficulties. But at least you know I'm not lip singing, right?
That's right.
At
All
least we know it's
live.
live.
All live, baby. All live.
I wouldn't set those mistakes up if I was recorded stuff. So it's a pleasure to be here. It's a very nice studio you guys have here, and I am very honored to have been asked to come on the show. It's very nice of you guys.
Yeah, I really dig that new song, and we can get into that in a little bit.
For sure.
But let's kind of take it all the way back. So tell us about how you got into playing guitar and wanting to write songs.
Well, my whole family, starting with my grandfather and my dad, so I grew up going to Nevada and going to Waylon Jennings' house and stuff like that. My father used to play with Roy Nichols and Merle Haggard and everybody that was in the Bakersfield scene. So he's in the Hall of Fame, like in Bakersfield and stuff like that. And on the flip side, he wasn't a good dad because he was always gone, But we did get to do some cool stuff. And basically, I just grew up around live music my whole life. When I started playing guitar when I was 8. I started doing music professionally when I was about 18, 19. Probably wrote my first song when I was about 12. So it's just been a part of my life as long as I could remember.
What were some of your, probably you already mentioned some of them, but what were some of your inspirations coming up?
Definitely like Leonard Skinner, but then I got more, so I grew up with what my grandfather used to call Okie music, because he was part Native American, he was from Oklahoma and stuff like that, and he loved Hank Sr., he loved, there was a lot of singers that he really did, Charlie Pride and people like that, Merle Haggard too, Hank Jr., of course. And that was my influences growing up. And then I found Ozzy Osbourne and Motley Crue and everything when I was like 12 years old. And I got into the heavier stuff, but I liked everything. I've always been into everything from classical to Slayer. If it makes me feel something, I like it. So I like hardcore rap, I like hardcore music, I like death metal, I like the most boring classical that anybody could like. I just love it all if it makes me feel something. Like one of my favorite singers is Tori Amos. Most people probably haven't heard of her. She actually played at Vino in October. Yeah. And I got to see her like 3 times in the last year. So when people look at me, they're like, "You like Tori Amos?" Because it's, she's a very soft spoken, pianist and stuff. So
since I've known you, like I mentioned earlier, you've always been solo, but going back further, have you been in bands? Were you in bands growing up?
I was always in bands up till about probably 2010, 2011. And the reason why I basically developed doing the stuff myself is because of money. It's like a lot of places will pay me pretty decent for doing a solo show, and they'll pay me maybe $100 to $200 more to bring in 4 other people. And you don't have to be like an accountant to realize that really the math just isn't there. It's easier to do it yourself. Sure. Plus I could do about, not even exaggerating, I know probably 5,000 songs, like as far as covers and stuff. When I did the Nashville scene, you're expected to know every song when you're over there. Otherwise places won't hire you, So you have to learn the songs, and you can't stare at iPads like people do in California. Sure. Not talking smack on anybody that does that, but if you do that in other states, they're not going to hire you. You need to know the songs, because you can't really perform if you're doing karaoke, and that's basically what it is. Right. So going back to that, when I'm with a band, I can't really do all those songs. You know, you kind of have, I mean, you've seen bands before, and a lot of them just do the same set list. And to me, that's just really boring. Like, I don't like to just have a set list and just do the same songs every night. I want to have a good time too. So I like to do completely different set lists for like almost every show that I do, except for my originals, you know. And even then I'll change up some because I have enough to where I can actually change those up. But I like doing solo, but I miss the camaraderie of playing with a band for sure.
Yeah. I know you've probably got a million songs that you've written. What's your songwriting process when it comes to writing your own originals?
It's so weird, Sean. Like it'll just happen. Sometimes I'll wake up. Like I interviewed a tattoo artist named Ron Earhart, who's very famous in the tattoo art, like the tattoo world, and he's the one that did all my tattoos and stuff. And he's been all around the world, very respected. And we were talking on that about his imagination process, which is basically the same as writing songs but coming up with tattoos. And he started talking about how like this stuff just kind of comes into his head, like he doesn't even feel responsible for half the stuff that he writes or draws or whatever. And I kind of feel the same way with songs. So a lot of my songs, I just wake up and they're there. Or I'm just driving down the road and they just shoot into my head. I'll get a chorus, I'll get a hook, I'll come up with a good idea or something like that, and then I'll build on it for a few months and just change it around until I feel that it's perfect to me. And I mean, there's no perfect song, but perfect to where I don't think it could get any better. And as far as that goes too, I don't write lyrics. I don't write them down. I figure if I can't remember it, it's not good enough, you know. So I've never written down lyrics until after songs have been recorded and like for online things.
Well, you got a good memory, man.
It's not bad, but I mean, I don't think it has anything to do with intelligence or anything like that. I just think that once, like anything else, you work out at the gym, your one arm's going to get huge. It's like when you use your memory a lot, I think it's a muscle, and I think that it just it's easier and easier to remember that stuff.
Yeah.
And songs are a different part of your brain than regular memory. That's the reason why whenever they do speech, like people have speech problems, they start them off, or memory problems or speech problems, they start them off with singing songs and stuff like that, you know, because it's a different part of your brain.
Yeah, that's like speaking early country, Mel Tillis. Remember
Yeah, he stuttered real bad.
You put a mic in front of him, he's just saying like no
Whole
problem.
different part of the brain.
Yeah. Speaking of your originals, what song would you say is your favorite, or maybe most proud of that you've written?
Probably the one I wrote about my grandfather, called "Like a Song." And my allergies today, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that one because it's got some very high notes in it. But anybody that wants to look it up, it's called "Like a Song." It's just one word, Lika, a song. It's on everything, like literally everything that's streaming. The only thing it's not on is FM radio, but it's my most emotionally favorite song. And then my second one's probably "Big Dreams." Big Dreams in a Small Town, and that was actually the first one I actually ever had on FM radio. So, and it wasn't coast to coast, but I did get it all over California and Tennessee and a few select states.
Oh.
So that one actually boosted me up a little bit and got me known a little out there.
Nice. So you're living here on the Central Coast, and you talked about growing up over in the Valley.
Yeah.
And I know before we started today, you also talked about living in Tennessee. So can you take us through the progression of how all that happened there?
Yeah. So I grew up in Fresno. I was born in Fresno. Went to school in Fresno. Went to Fresno City College. Got a few degrees from Fresno State. Fun thing about me, I've never done anything for a living except for music, but I have a lot of college degrees that I just acquired. I hang them up on the wall. But I moved over here 2012, 2013, somewhere around there. I moved to Atascadero because I was doing so many weddings and things over here, and there was a lot of places to play back then. You know, it's not like now. Now it's very few and far between.
Yep.
Like you and Randy were able to sit here and pretty much name off every live venue that there is. And
10 years ago, you wouldn't have been able to do that. It would have taken you an hour.
Right.
So the pandemic changed a lot of things, and but I moved over here for work because I was over here all the time doing work, doing weddings. Weddings pay very well. When you have a song on the radio, you'll get $3,000 or $4,000 for a wedding, you know, and so that's the reason why I moved over here, and then I moved to Tennessee because just lack of having opportunities over here for original music. You know, over here in California, there's a lot of tribute, a lot of cover bands, tribute bands. But unless you're in LA, and I am not a fan of LA. I've played everywhere in LA, the Whiskey, all these places, but I don't like it. I don't like the big cities. I like this area here. I wish there was more opportunities, but basically when I moved to Nashville, it was just for songwriting opportunities. I started getting older. I started realizing I'm not going to be selling out stadiums, and I wanted to get my songs to people that were, you know, because my passion is just to create. Whether it's magazines, podcasts, whatever, I like to create things. I like to take things that were never there and make them there. You know?
How long were you in Tennessee?
I was over there for about 2-3 years.
And were you able to make any connections? And
Totally. Yeah, I was actually, I drove around Morgan Wallen for a while and did some shows with him and some stuff like that, and didn't like him, still don't, but that's a whole nother subject, you know. His music's good. But no, it's, I got to meet a lot of people over there, but I wasn't done. I had to come back prematurely because of money problems. It's very expensive over there, and unlike over here, you don't have the wages to match it. Over there, it's mostly trust fund people or people that are just rich, you know.
were you able to find gigs pretty easily, or is it pretty much? No.
Now getting in the first time is hard. You know, it's you got to talk your way in there. You got to do what you could do to get into the place the first time. But then after that, you know, they want you back if you're good, you know. And I'm not saying I'm good, but I got gigs, so I guess there was something there. But yeah, if you're selling alcohol, see, one thing about me that I realize, a lot of musicians don't realize that it's not about their music when you're playing bars. It's about selling alcohol. They don't care what you do on the stage as long as you sell alcohol. As long as the numbers are better than they would be if you weren't there, and you're cost effective, then they want you back, you know.
Right.
And that's the way it should be. You know, I mean, they're businesses, right?
Sure.
They're not hiring you because they want to promote you. They're hiring you because they want to make money.
Right.
So I get that. So wherever I play, I try to make sure I'm cost effective.
As far as connections, are you still in contact with any of them over in Tennessee?
I don't really talk to anybody over there except for just online and stuff like that. Like
Gotcha.
I've interviewed some people on my podcast. I have a true crime podcast called Music and Murder, and I get some people on there that I get to interview and stuff like that, and did some stuff with Aaron Lewis and things like that. So the people that I did get to hang with and do things with, very respected people and stuff like that, and I think I got in a little too late, you know. It's a young man's game, you know.
Are you planning on going back over at some point, or
I am
not sure?
Yeah, I'm in a PhD program at Fresno State right now. I just finished my master's last year in crim, and I'm gonna finish that, and then I'm gonna probably go back over there. Yeah, I see probably retiring over there, but
okay.
I'll still be over here all the time. My whole family's over here, so it's like I will go back and forth. It's a 4-hour flight, so it's not bad. But over there, it's just the opportunities to create. You know, it's nothing about me not liking the Central Coast or anything like that. It's just over there I have opportunities that I don't have over here.
Sure.
You know, and like I said, I don't like LA. Just never been a fan of having traffic like that. But the infrastructure in Nashville is, they're building everywhere. I was just over there like about 4 or 5 months ago recording, and they're building everywhere, and they're not making the freeways any wider or anything like that. So I'm expecting some pretty bad traffic over there as well. You know, it's all the cool places are just getting like that. I hear Austin's getting like that too. So,
as far as recording, how many CDs have you recorded now?
for my own original by myself,
Right,
what
right.
I guess you would say solo albums.
Right.
I have 4.
Okay.
4 full length. But with bands, I probably recorded 30. I mean, I've been in a lot of bands. I've been in quite a few signed bands and got to tour with a lot of bands and stuff like that. So, but just for myself, in the last 10 years, I put out 4.
When you do recording, is there a particular place that you go, or just kind of depends on where you're at in your life?
As long as nowadays we're looking at more of doing, and I say we're, I mean like musicians, we're looking at doing more singles than albums, right? Not a lot of people put out albums anymore unless they have a really big budget and a really big record label, you know. So I put out singles nowadays, and what I try to do is find a good producer that matches what I'm working on. The last 2 albums I did in North Hollywood, and that producer now lives in Nashville, and I was going to record with him again, but he's good at what he does, but him and I just didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things. I wouldn't say hard to work with, but I am definitely, I know what I want.
Sure.
And I don't like producers that try to influence me to change what I'm trying to do. Because I'm not going to be the next Jelly Roll. I'm not going to be the next Morgan Wallen. I'm not going to be that. So I have to make records that I'm happy with. You know, I'm not trying to take over the world because I know it's not going to happen. I don't have the money behind me, and that's what it takes. It takes money. Anybody that thinks that you're going to make it off talent these days, you know, there is a small, slim chance. I've seen people do it. Zach Bryan did it. There's a few people that have done it, but for the most part, you know, they got $5-6 million behind them. You know,
Yeah.
If you don't have that, you know, a hit song. I don't call a hit song a good song. I call a hit song a song that's very well funded. And you know, that's the truth, because you have to advertise the shit out of it. You know. Sorry, can we?
Oh yeah.
It's okay. Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
I didn't want to like have any profanity or anything like that. But yeah, it's definitely a different world these days with recording.
Did Tennessee open up your eyes to that, or kind of already knew going over?
I learned a lot. I learned a lot over there, and I think that any musician that thinks that they're going to actually make it and stuff, they should go to Austin, or they should go to Tennessee. They should go to one of these places to where, you know, when I first got over there, I thought that I was good, and then I realized that I'm barely mediocre, and once I got there, I was practicing 8 hours a day when I wasn't playing, and I think it made me better. It made me more professional. Mm-hmm. You can only do what you can do with what you're given here, and what you're given here, and what you're given here. But if you work harder, you make sure to get on time. You know, that's one thing about the system in Tennessee. Every bar does 10 to 2, 2 to 6, 6 to 10, 10 to 2. So they have like every bar, you see all the musicians change bars and stuff like that. So they have like a system. You cannot take more than 5 minutes to tear down and to set up. So, you know, I over here, people take a long time.
Sure.
You know, they're taking 2 hours to set up. It's like over there, you have to know how to do that. That's the reason why I had that pedal board made. We don't have that on the camera, but I have this big pedal board, and it's like I had got that because I could just throw some chords together and throw it out of the case, and I'm ready to go. You know, so of course I'm going to take longer when I can, but you just don't get that luxury.
Right.
Because you'll have bands like staring down your throat, like get off the stage. It's like whenever I open up for national acts, you know, they're nice to you when you sound check, they're nice to you and everything, but second you get done, they're basically throwing you off the stage. And anybody that's opened up for national acts knows that that's the truth. It's very vigorous.
Yeah, yeah. Well, why don't we hit a commercial, but when we come back, we'll get maybe Michael Keeney play us another song.
Hi, this is Dave Story, small game hunter with Story Termite and Pest. We're a full-service termite and pest control company. From rodents to termites, we can take care of all your pest control needs. Call today, we can tailor a pest control program that will meet your needs and budget. Contact us at 805-460-0650 or at storytermite.com. Remember, we don't have customers, we have friends.
Hi, welcome to Kennedy Club Fitness, where we have something for everyone. We have weights, cardio, group exercise classes, racquetball, basketball, swimming, and pickleball coming soon. Here at Kennedy, we're committed to health, wellness, and community. Stop by any of our 4 locations, Paso Robles, Atascadero, San Luis Obispo, and Arroyo Grande, or check out our website at kennedyclubs.com.
To more music with Michael Keeney.
All right. Now, this is a song called A Motherfucker Would. If you look it up on anything, it's called A Mother Would. Life ain't nothing but heartache and pain. Chopping whiskey and drinking cocaine. Gotta find something new to help me forget about you, 'cause the day didn't go so good, so I hope and pray a motherfucker would test my goal and see how far he gets. And by the way things are going now, probably end up like I'm downtown. And I know, hell I know, that ain't good. Still I hope and I pray a motherfucker would. So many things going in my head, but all I can hear is that shit you say. And I gotta find something new to help me forget about you, 'cause the day didn't go so good, so I hope and pray a motherfucker would test my goal and see how far he gets. And by the way things are going now, probably end up like I'm downtown. And I know, hell I know, that ain't good. Still I hope and I pray a motherfucker would. Oh yeah. Motherfucker should. Oh. Here I am in this county jail, just waiting on my friend to post my babe. Man, he better get here quick, 'cause there's lots of ass in here to kick. And today didn't go so good, so I hope and pray a motherfucker would kiss my goal and say how far he gets. And by the way things are going now, probably end up locked up downtown. And I know, hell I know, that ain't good. Still I hope and I pray, man, I hope and I pray. Well, I hope and I pray a motherfucker would, a motherfucker should, a motherfucker would, if a motherfucker could. All right, I'm gonna do one more here. And this one is called All We Do Is Smash. There ain't much going on around this town, but I got this girl, and man, she likes to get down. She's like Christmas morning every damn night, the 4th of July flying high as a kite. We don't like to overthink anything, so all we do is smash, all we smash. All we do is smash, all we smash. Smash. There ain't much going on around this town, so me and my boys head out and we put a few down. And then we hit all the bars, start all the fights, jump on the stage, kick out them lights. We don't like to overthink anything, so all we do is smash, all we smash. All we do is smash, all we smash. And we gonna smash till the morning, smash every night, smash in the bars, kick out them lights. Smash, all we smash. Smash. There ain't much going on around this town, no. But I got this girl, and man, she likes to get down. She's like Christmas morning every damn night, 4th of July flying high as a kite. We don't like to overthink anything, so all we do is, all we do is smash. All we do is smash. Oh yeah. And we gonna smash till the morning, smash every night, smash in the bars, kick out the lights, smash.
What's up, North County? Nate Santos here, owner of Santos Bros Plumbing. You might recognize me with my dancing horses at local events such as the Tascadero Tamale Festival, Templeton 4th of July, and Paso Pioneer Day. I am now available for all your home plumbing service and repair needs, from minor drips and drops to emergency leaks and clogs. For the best plumbing service, call Santos Bros Plumbing, pipe wranglers to the rescue.
Atascadero isn't your standard getaway. We're unique, just like you. We're growing, transforming, and figuring it out as we go. We're a town filled with innovators, artists, makers, and game changers. We're a little bit country, a little bit funky, and always authentic. We're here for your good times, your slow times, and your changing times. We're all in Atascadero. Come see for yourself. Learn more at visitatascadero.com.
Okay, here we are back with Michael Keeney. Michael, those are some nice songs. I'm taking a look at you playing over there, and your pedal board looks like you need to be a brain surgeon to maybe operate that thing.
Yeah, I can't drink whenever I use it, that's for sure. It's a big sloppy mess, but it's always fun. I like to, especially since a lot of the shows that I do are 2-3 hours, I like to keep busy. It helps the time go by faster, you know?
Yeah. Do you play drums? Because with all that footwork you're doing along with strumming up here.
Yeah, and a lot of people think that I actually have backing tracks. I'm doing everything completely live. So I set the BPM on the drums, do the drum, like the pauses, do the vocal harmonizer, everything with my feet. So my feet are constantly going like this. You can't see it on the camera. But yeah, I'm like going crazy with my feet the whole entire time that I'm using it. But it took me about 6 months after getting that set up before I could actually take it out of the house, because I had to you have to do it blind. I would actually turn all the lights off and actually do it to where I can't see anything. Or sometimes I would even blindfold my face. Wow. And I would just listen through my ears and stuff like that. So it's a whole instrument in itself. It really is.
I mean, I don't think I could get up there and do that. Maybe 6 months of in the room.
Yeah.
You know, but
and that was right before Nashville when I got that. And Keith Urban's guitarist at the time, I don't know if he keeps his same band, but I think he does. But he came up to me when I was playing at the Stage in Nashville, which is a really big bar in there. And he was like, what are you doing? And I recognized him because I've seen Keith Urban live 3 times. I'm like, I know who you are. Who are you? And he was asking me like, what the hell I'm using. I mean, this guy has toured around the world probably 10, 15 times, and he's never seen nothing like it. So it's definitely something that I came up with myself. Oh, shoot.
So as far as
everything's going wrong for me. So hopefully everybody kind of heard that. I don't.
Well, without getting into too much detail or taking too long, can you just kind of run us through what you got on the pedal board there?
Okay, so basically I have 3 different setups actually on the pedal board. So I have the microphone, then I have the in-ear thing that comes out of the mixing board and stuff like that. Then I have the acoustic setup, which is an acoustic line that has probably about 7-8 pedals. And then I have the electric, which just goes through a line 6. I can't remember what it's called, but it was like $1,000. It's like this big, and it just does everything. I can't remember what line 6 model it is, but it's a very good modulator. It's a very good processor. And then I have it all just set up perfectly. I have to tape all the knobs and everything so they don't deviate from where I have them at. And the reason why I have all that, the mixing board and everything, is because like I was saying in Nashville, you have to be able to tear down and set up really fast. So just like when I was talking to you before coming on the show, I'm like, the only thing I have to give Eric is basically one XLR. Right. So it's convenient for playing at places and stuff like that, and I can hear myself through the in-ears, and I don't have to hear everybody else too. But I use a looper. So to answer your question specifically, the main meat and potatoes to my pedal board is the fact that I have a looper that midis into my drum machine. So the drum machine that I run with my feet, I had a foot switch made for it and everything to where I could run it with my feet. A lot of my stuff is custom made. I mean, like, I don't think I have anything that's stock. And basically it enables me to lock those two together so that I could hit an A-B switch and then switch over to the electric guitar, which turns off the acoustic guitar so you don't hear it banging around and stuff like that. So that's pretty much it. I go through some preamps. I have a TC Helicon a vocal processor that I use on choruses and stuff like that to thicken them up.
It's pretty awesome. Is there anything that you're wanting to add to it, or is it pretty dialed in right now?
I ain't adding nothing to that thing. No, I will get another band before I do that. There's enough stuff on there for a lifetime. Now, I may switch some stuff out. Like if I see a pedal that I think is going to work for my system a lot better than what I have on there, and there's room, I might switch some stuff out. But no, I don't need nothing else.
What about the guitar? What kind of guitar are you playing over there?
That's a custom guitar that my friend had built for me. His name's Kevin Estes. He had it built for me, and it's made of koa wood from Hawaii, and it's extremely expensive. And I put in LR Bragg's the Anthem system because it didn't have the stuff in it. But I have a whole booklet of that guitar being built over the course of a year and a half. So it's my prized possession.
Yeah,
you know?
It sounds great. I mean, just live without even in the going through the system, just in the room, it sounds great.
Yeah, no, it's the koa wood. Now, koa wood comes from Hawaii. I think is the only place that it comes from. And what it is you can't harvest it. It has to be a natural disaster. So, like a tree has to fall down from a hurricane or, a fire or something like that. Yeah, you can't harvest it. They have laws against it. So just the wood alone on that thing costs like $5-6 grand. And I'm not saying that like, brag, my guitar is worth a lot of money. It's sentimental as hell to me because, he had it made for me. But I know he spent a lot of money on it. And it's got my name on the fretboard. And, it's just something that hopefully I'll have until, I die and maybe longer. Maybe I'll be able to pass it down to somebody else in my family because my whole family plays. So
nice. What about the Charvel?
That is something that I actually acquired not too long ago.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was playing a black Strat, and then I got that one, and I just love that one.
Looks like it's probably an '80s Charvel.
It's actually a relic.
Oh, okay.
Believe it or not, I don't want to admit it, but it's new. Okay. It just looks like it's been beat to hell and been through hell and back. But I love that look, and it's just like, but I love the headstock. I always, one of my favorite guitarists is Jimi Hendrix. I'm a huge Jimi Hendrix fan. Not a huge fan of like his voice and the radio songs, but his B-side songs like Little Wing, like Castles Made of Sand,
Red House.
Bold as Love, Red House, a lot of the stuff that he just did that, a lot of people that think they know Jimi Hendrix wouldn't know. In fact, I actually, on my podcast, I actually did his death on my last episode. So anybody that doesn't know how he actually died, you could listen to that, and I go into detail about it. But I just love the way that it looked when he played with the headstock upside down. So when I saw that model, and it was not cheap, and I saw it, and I was just like, oh my God, I gotta have that thing. And I don't think it's gonna lose its value. Most of those relics, they just go up in price. So.
Do you have a story about when you're playing live somewhere and just some crazy, wild things started taking place?
I've been in like 2 fights while I was playing on stage before. Yeah. One guy ran up stage and was trying to attack me because his girlfriend liked me. And let me see. There's lots of stories. And I'm not going to name the bar or anything, but I was in Clovis, California, playing it a couple years ago, and 6 people got stabbed, like right in front of me, like literally right in front of me. There was blood all over my equipment, and it's a rough business. So you have to, especially when you're playing in Tennessee. Like you're playing in Tennessee, people will jump on the stage and they will try to thrash your shit. They'll try to grab your microphone and everything. So you kind of have to know how to fight. Honestly, and if you're a woman or whatever, you need to have somebody there to watch your stuff because, you mix alcohol, testosterone, genitals, and stuff like that, and things go bad. So I've seen a lot of violence. I've never been in a bar when there was a shooting, but I've played a lot of bars where there were shootings, like the day before, the day after, you know, whatever. It's like a lot of places, especially when you're playing like outlaw country and stuff like that, like you have to play a lot of really ruthless places that just, you know, there's a lot of very mean people that go into these places, and then when they get drunk, they look for trouble, you know.
Right.
And you're kind of just a beacon on the stage at that point. It's just kind of like they'll zoom in right on you, and if their girlfriend's looking at you or anything like that, then yeah, it's going to be problems. Broke down a couple times where I had to sleep in my car, my trailer, and literally just right when I moved back after the pandemic, I broke down on 101, and I think it was December, and it was freezing over by Paso. My car broke down. They couldn't get a tow truck, so I had to sleep out there with all my equipment because I wasn't going to leave it out there to get stolen. You know, so there's stuff like that, but I never played any stadiums or anything like that. Like I played a lot of places that had 5,000-6,000 people, but nothing like 30,000 people or anything like that. So I don't have any of the real cool stories.
Do you have a venue that you're most proud of being able to play at?
Okay, Fulton 55 in Fresno. I don't know if you ever heard of that, but it's kind of like, it's a little bigger than the Siren. They hold about 700 people. I was the first person to play there. I was probably the first person to play at about 30, 40 different places. I just did a grand opening at the Hub, which is off of 41 in Excelsior, just a couple weeks ago. And the Fulton 55 was a cool one because they've had a lot of really big names in that place, like a lot of really big names. So I got to open up for a lot of national acts there. But yeah, I was the very first person to play there. They were still putting the stage together when I played there.
Nice.
Yeah, the guys in the corner still with their drills and stuff while I'm actually playing. It's pretty nuts.
Getting back into recording and getting your music out there. Like you said, you've been doing this for years and years. Nobody has CDs anymore. How do you face that how do you personally face that problem as far as getting your music to the public, to the crowd?
You know, okay, so like this is a band that actually has like all my information on it. Like it's a chip. It's called Dot. If anybody would like one, they're like $20, but it's Dot card. And now they're doing the bracelets, and you can rub it across the phone. Like if you open up a phone, like should I like display it?
Sure.
I'll just kind of show you. What are we going off that camera right there? Oh, okay. So if I do this, you'll see something pop up. See that? And then I hit this, and then that's trying to log on. But that is actually like all my information, all my links. So there's like everything on there from iTunes to all that stuff. So that's one way to do it. As far as selling CDs, nobody buys CDs anymore. No, I still put them out because I still have a lot of CDs. I still have some of all four of my solo CDs. And
that's the problem I find is, you know, we have CDs too, you know, and it's like we'll be at a gig and I'm not even concerned about trying to sell them. I just want to get the music out, right? So I'll hand a CD to somebody and they'll be like, oh, cool. I don't have a CD player, and they'll hand it back.
All cars don't make them anymore.
And, you know, years ago they used to make download cards where you could, you know, put your music up and then...
They still have those, yeah.
But they're far and few between, you know, and so I personally find it, you know, I'm not sure what the answer is, you know. I mean, what's the best avenue to get the music to a crowd?
Basically, stuff like this, and just give them your links, give them cards, and tell them to look you up on anything.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really the only thing that there is anymore, unless you could get on FM radio. And right now, an FM campaign is about $400,000. So if you want one song on FM radio, like every Clear channel, they would play it from here to New York, and maybe even in some other countries too. But it's going to cost about $400,000, and that's the reason why you hear a lot of bands with one song that comes out, and then you don't hear about them again. It's longevity. Yeah, you could get maybe $400,000. Say, you know, grandma kicks off or something, you inherit some money and you put that money into one song. If that song doesn't kill it, you're done. Because you're not going to have another $400,000. That's the reason why the 1% of the music world owns the radio. That's the reason why you hear Eric Church, Jason Aldean, you know, all of them, Luke Bryan, all the bigs over and over again. A lot of people that aren't in the music industry, they think that there's like some magic dude that says, oh, these are great songs. There's no other good artists, it's just them. There's literally 100 million people that out there playing that are as good as these guys.
Right.
It's just they have the money because they're selling out the stadiums. Therefore, they can actually pay for the FM campaigns that come out. That's why when you hear songs on the radio on FM, you hear them for about 3 months, and you hear them all day long, and pretty much they disappear. And you might hear them once in a while if it's a good song later on. But yeah, a lot of people don't realize that it's all a commercial. Everything you hear on FM radio is a commercial.
Speaking about kind of just music over the years and going back, again, you know, say go back like 10, 15 years to now, how do you think the internet in general has affected the local music scene, not necessarily the national music scene, but the local music scene?
That's a good question. I would say that it's probably made local music better and accessible, and venues that want to hire musicians, it's easier. But I think overall the internet has pretty much kind of destroyed the music industry, and I think it's going to completely destroy it before long. Acting and movies and stuff like that are almost the same way. The budgets have gone way, way, way down, way down. Okay, so just for an example, 2014, 2015, 2016, every one of those 3 years I was making about $250,000. This year I'm going to make about $30,000. So that's how it's affected me. Next year I'll probably make 20. So, you know, I have to find something else to do. But it's stuff like that to where, okay, so you go back to like the 80s, the 90s and stuff where people would go in the studio for a year, right? Metallica Black Album took almost a year and a half to make, and they spent about $3 million making it. You're not going to have albums like that anymore. Nobody is going to make albums like that anymore. People are making singles for $1,500, $2,000 and throwing them on the radio. So it's not only affecting the musicians. I think the reason why a lot of people, and even like millennials and stuff, they like 70s and 80s music, because there's just a difference there, because people cared more about their music. Now people just want to write a single and write a hit. People were making records. People were making The Wall. You know, Pink Floyd, they were making Kiss Alive 2. They were making these great, amazing records that you don't see anymore.
I also think, though, it's also like the new generation. You're talking about all those albums and everything. I mean, back in the day, you had to be invested if you wanted to, you know, go to a concert or buy a CD. Like, you talk to a young person and explain, oh, back in the day, people would line up at midnight to go buy Metallica's Black Album.
Right.
Or they would, even here locally, that people would spend days at a time camping at the fair to be the very first one to buy tickets. You know, that people don't, young people don't understand that. They're not invested in the music, you know? Or how many times did you buy a CD or a cassette and some of your favorite songs are like songs that didn't get released? You know,
yes.
The younger generation is missing everything that I just talked about.
Yeah, are you a Van Halen fan?
Of course.
So you know, when they put out that song Tattoo, when they actually got back together and put out White Magic or whatever it was with David Lee Roth,
right?
That was the worst song on the entire album. And I've heard that so many times, like going to Alice in Chains' Dirt. Oh, let me just turn this off. I didn't even know that was on. Going back to like Alice in Chains' Dirt, like came out in 1990. The worst song to me on the CD is Them Bones. Like, you know, but people like it because it's famous now. Like, everybody knows it because it's been rammed down their throats on the radio. But if you listen to that CD for the first time, I guarantee that's not going to be your favorite song. And it is, you're right. I mean, B-songs, B-side songs, just like I was talking about with Jimi Hendrix. You're missing out on so many good songs. People just want to deliver, especially record labels, they just want to deliver that single to sell and try to get out to the masses. They don't care about your longevity. They don't care about records. They don't care about really what they're doing. It's just a business.
Yeah.
And I get that. You know, they are a business. They should be out to make profits.
Yeah. And just like you mentioned earlier, like how even like you or myself on the local scene may only put out like a single, that transcends up to, you know, the higher ups, the sign bands. They're kind of in the same boat, you know. Some of them put out full CDs and everything, but it's like, you know,
It's getting fewer.
the Wild
and fewer,
West, like, you know,
yeah.
how they're handling it as well, you know.
Yeah. I mean, like if you have $1 million budget, you can make a record, you know, because you have unlimited funds. I mean, the people that have already made it in the music industry, like the Jason Aldeans, Eric Churches, all these people. I'm just talking about country right now, but I mean, they've already made more money than they're going to be able to spend. Mm-hmm. You know, I remember Garth Brooks saying it in the 90s. He's like, I've made enough money to where my grandkids, they can never have to worry about money. So now I can do whatever I want. Right. And Garth Brooks is an amazing human being. He wasn't saying that egotistically. He wasn't Kanye West. He was just actually just saying like, now I'm going to do whatever I want to do because I've already like done everything that everybody else wanted me to do. You know, so it's like these guys that already made their money. You know, I'm surprised that Robert Plant's actually touring again.
Yeah, I was.
You know, I didn't think that he actually ever would, but I'm glad to see him out there because he used to love what he did, and then for some reason he just quit. And I think a lot of it had to do with Bonham's death. You know, when John Bonham died, it kind of changed the whole band. Obviously, not all bands could be Metallica and just bounce right back when they lose a band member and stuff. But you know. I'm glad that he's out there. I wish he was touring with Jimmy Page. I think that would be cooler.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I love Led Zeppelin. I'm a huge Led Zeppelin fan. So much that I don't do any of their songs because I love their music too much to mess with it, you know?
Yeah. Hey, let's talk about something that you brought up a little bit earlier, your podcast. So why don't you tell us a little bit about, you know, the origin of it and how you came up with it?
So I started getting the podcasting, I started listening to podcasts around 2013, 14 when they first like kind of came out. Always been a huge true crime fan. I got my first college degree in crime like right around that same time. And I noticed a lot of them were just the same boring crap, you know, same commercials, same everything. It's just so redundant. And I just wanted to do something different. My two loves and my two passions are music and criminology. So I was like, hey, I could do this. You know, I could do a good podcast. I know a lot of people, and the hardest part was actually to intertwine it properly. So basically what I do is I go through one case, and usually it's pretty damn graphic, and I warn people in the beginning. You know, some of these cases have to do with kids being killed. Some of them have to do with cannibalism. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody, and it shouldn't be. You know, I just find my weirdos, you know. And I don't get in that stuff for shock value. I study that stuff because I actually want to understand why people do what they do. I don't think anybody as a kid says, I want to grow up to be a serial killer. Maybe there are a few, but most don't. It's something that happens in the brain, the wiring of the brain. So I found out how easy it was to do. And then, so instead of going to commercials, I just play people's songs. Usually the episode will be an hour and a half. The story will be an hour. And instead of going to commercials, I'll do songs. And then at the end, I'll usually do an interview with a musician. And sometimes we'll go over the case, sometimes we won't. Depends on how big they are and if they're in the true crime or not. But yeah, I thought Music and Murder was a great name. I just thought it was a great concept, and to this day I haven't made a single dime on it, and I don't think I ever will. I just like it. Right now I have about 120,000 subscribers, which is pretty good because I've never spent a dime on it. As far as advertising, it's kind of blown me away that it's gotten that good. But the musicians that are on the show, they just like with this show, they share it, you know. So they'll share it. They'll be like, hey, I'm gonna have my song on this show, and then people will subscribe if they like it. And I'm just very blunt. And one thing that differentiates me from a lot of the people that do the true crime podcasts is I have multiple college degrees in it, you know, in criminology. So I've studied this stuff, profiling and forensics and all this stuff. So I can give opinions. I'm not just reading a Wikipedia, you know, and a lot of these people are. A lot of them are just young people that are just like, they'll go on the internet and half the information's wrong. You got to get in, you have to be able to access police reports and stuff like that to where you get factual information.
And you get into
And
that,
I know how
so-
to do that since,
okay.
you know, because of school. So there's websites that I have access to that regular people don't.
Oh, wow.
And I know a lot of people that are in the business and stuff like that. So I can actually hit up a professor that's, you know, one of my mentors is named Eric Hickey, and he's been on Snapped. I mean, Evil Lives Here, like he's Murder in the Heartland. Almost all these shows that people watch, like on the ID channel and stuff like that, he's been on all these shows. He trains the FBI.
Oh, wow.
And he's like a really good friend of mine. So yeah, I never got into the law enforcement side of it. In fact, truth be told, I've been in jail about 20 times, but all a long time ago. I haven't been in jail now for about 20 years, and but I was a hardhead when I was younger. But I mean, being a cop was not, you know, some people hear, oh, you got degrees in criminology. What, are you trying to be a cop? No, I'm not trying to be a cop. I like to study that type of stuff because it interests me why people do the things that they do. Mm-hmm. When I hear like Jeffrey Dahmer and stuff like that, I don't think, oh, this guy's just sick, just kill him. I'm thinking, why did he do what he did? What made him do this type of stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So it just interests me. And I think it interests a lot of people. True crime right now on podcasts is the biggest thing that there is.
Right?
Yeah, it's the biggest subject matter that there is. Self-help, I think, is second. So, yeah, the podcast world it's cool, and it's the Wild West, you know, you can cuss. You can cuss and you can say whatever you want, and I like that. I've had to go on to like so many TV shows and stuff like that, like with a music career and stuff like that, to where I've done so many morning shows on radios and on TV shows and stuff like that, and it's just, everything is so scripted.
Right.
I just like to just interview people and be like, so what the fuck's going on, man? You know, how are you doing today? You know, who does the most blow in this band? You know, it's just like, it's nice to just be able to talk to people and not be so formal.
Right.
And I think people love that. I think people really love genuineness. They're
Well, that's
so
what we're
fucking
going
sick
for
of
on
all
this show too, you know.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Hopefully that
You
transcends.
let me do a motherfucker wood, so I love that. Like, I didn't even think I was going to be able to do that, so I was happy about that. And I mean, I'm not the type of person that goes around cussing everywhere, but sometimes there's a reason for it, you know. It's there for a reason. If you use it too much, it doesn't matter when you use it. You got to make sure it matters.
Right. Well, hey, looking forward, do you got some shows coming up that you want to promote?
Always, yeah. This weekend I'll be at Mulligan's in Avila on Friday, 5 to 7. And then on Saturday I will be at Bristol Cider House in Atascadero from 7 to 9. And I have a private party that I'm doing on Sunday, but that's just a private party. But yeah, so Friday in Avila. That Mulligan's is right by the golf course. It's actually, I think, on the golf course.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a cool place. Like they have it set up outdoors. I don't know if you guys ever been to that venue, but
I've heard of
pretty cool.
that they set it up pretty nice, but I haven't actually been out there.
It's hard to get your stuff up there because it's like the whole thing is like this mountain, but then you could play as loud as you want, and people sit out there. All the tables have fire and stuff, so it's really cool. And then like the beach is like right there, and they have it covered.
Nice.
So, God, I mean, I played Mr. Rick's one time, and it was the only time I will ever play there because they tried to put me in the sunlight. Nothing against
And
Mr. Rick's. I think it's a great bar, but playing there, sitting there in the sunlight for 4 hours when you're as white as I am, it's death. I mean, it's a suicide mission. I got so sunburned, you know, and they even got me like a little umbrella, but it just like the sun
Were you
kept moving,
outside?
so it's just like, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
they
wow.
put solo artists outside in the afternoon.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then forget about it if you want to see your pedal board because
Right.
everything's LED. And
Yeah.
if you're in the direct sunlight, you're trying to look at an LED light, ain't going to work out too well for you.
Yeah.
You know, so. But this was like 2013, something like that. I don't know if they still do it like that now. But, no, I love the bar, and I love Avila in general. It's a beautiful place. It's just when they put me out there outside like that, I'm like, you really gonna put me out here for 4 hours? My God, I'm gonna die.
And then your podcast, people can access that on the usual ways?
Come again? Say.
People can get your podcast going to the usual ways?
Oh, it's on everything. It's on everything that there's podcasts. It's just music and symbol murder, but if you type in A&D, it comes up too. So just music and murder. If you have a streaming service that you go through exclusively, I would use that, because sometimes like they'll cut right into a commercial right in the middle of like a song I'm playing or something like that. If it's on a medium that or an app that doesn't have that you don't have a premium service to. Everybody with iPhones, if you have an iPhone, you could just go onto the podcast logo and it will play all the everything for free. So yeah, it looks like that. It's everything's pink. I love pink. I don't like to admit it because maybe it makes me sound a little feminine, but you know, I'm pretty okay with my masculinity, so I can love pink. And then of course you got the Facebook page, and you want to shout out anything else? Yeah, my name is Michael D. Keeney. It's Keeny. Michael's traditional spelling. So I'm on everything: TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, of course, all that stuff. Instagram is probably my favorite go-to. That's where I have the most followers and the most people that actually watch what I'm doing. So I've always been a big fan of Instagram. I kind of look at Instagram as Facebook when it was still cool, before they listened to every single word you say. It's so crazy. You say anything on Facebook. It doesn't happen on Instagram as much, but you say anything and then you go on Facebook and there it is. Yeah. There it is. Well, thanks for hanging out with us today, and we'd like to thank Michael Keeney for coming in today as well. Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it. Everybody here has been so nice. Everybody. So. And we'd like to thank our sponsors today as well. So today we have Escalar Wines, Wine Travelers Hideaway, Kennedy Club Fitness, Visit Atascadero, 805 Customs, Airflow Filter Service, Pacific 805 Spas, Hanson Enterprises, Borhone Auto Center, Story Termite and Pest Control, and Santos Brothers Plumbing. Well, we're going to have Michael take us on another journey for one of his songs. Again, thanks, Mike, for coming out. We really appreciate it. And be sure to check him out on the Central Coast when he's playing gigs nearby.
All right, give me just a second to put these in. I want to thank you guys all for listening to us on here. This has been a great experience. I hope to be back on the show sometime. This is a song of mine off my South on 41 album. It is called Over You Yet. It's been a long, long time since I saw you. But sometimes, late at night, you're all I see. Well, I get my hand on the bottle when you visit, 'cause I still haven't gotten over you yet. nights and ladies of the evening, well, they try to save me, 'cause they don't know that my heart, it belongs to you. Well, I keep my hand on the bottle when they visit, 'cause I still haven't gotten over you, yeah. I pray someday that you will come back home and love me. But I know that you moved on, just like you told me. Even when I die, girl, you will haunt me. Now say I still haven't gotten over you, yeah. And you know I still haven't gotten over you, yeah.
Hi, this is Dave Story, small game hunter with Story Termite and Pest. We're a full-service termite and pest control company. From rodents to termites, we can take care of all your pest control needs. Call today, we can tailor a pest control program that will meet your needs and budget. Contact us at 805-460-0650 or at storytermite.com. Remember, we don't have customers, we have friends.
Hi, welcome to Kennedy Club Fitness, where we have something for everyone. We have weights, cardio, group exercise classes, racquetball, basketball, swimming, and pickleball coming soon. Here at Kennedy, we're committed to health, wellness, and community. Stop by any of our 4 locations: Paso Robles, Atascadero, San Luis Obispo, and Arroyo Grande, or check out our website at kennedyclubs.com.
What's up, North County? This is Teresa Branch with Airflow Filter Service. We are a family-owned business right here in the North County. We have air filters, oils and lubricants, and hydraulic hoses. We provide services that include air filter cleaning, DPF cleaning, and waste oil collection. Come check us out at 1140 Ramada Drive, and we can help you with all your automotive and industrial vehicle needs.
Atascadero isn't your standard getaway. We're unique, just like you. We're growing, transforming, and figuring it out as we go. We're a town filled with innovators, artists, makers, and game changers. We're a little bit country, a little bit funky, and always authentic. We're here for your good times, your slow times, and your changing times. We're all in Atascadero. Come see for yourself. Learn more at visitatascadero.com.
What's up, North County? Nate Santos here, owner of Santos Bros Plumbing. You might recognize me with my dancing horses at local events such as the Atascadero Tamale Festival, Templeton 4th of July, and Paso Pioneer Day. I am now available for all your home plumbing service and repair needs, from minor drips and drops to emergency leaks and clogs. For the best plumbing service, call Santos Bros Plumbing, pipe wranglers to the rescue.